Hey everybody, it's the beginning of the year, so I wanted to ask, do you ever set New Year's resolutions and then you don't achieve them, or after maybe even a few weeks, even a week, you fizzle out? Or do you set goals but then you never make them happen for whatever variety of reasons? Well, if that's the case, or maybe do you want to set goals and you just don't know how? So if any of those things are the case, then you are here and you're watching the right episode, because tonight we're going to talk all about goals, how to set them, and maybe help overcome some of the reasons why you did not hit your goals in the past. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Tanya. I am the head coach and founder of Hustle to Muscle Fitness, or Team Hustle Muscle Fitness. I have been a health and fitness coach now for almost 3 years, and through using a variety of programs through Beachbody, I have been able to lose and keep off 75 to 78 pounds, depending on what stats in my journey you look at. And so I obviously had a goal of losing weight and was able to hit that. And so my goals then changed, and I continue to work on hitting those goals. So that's why I'm here doing this show, putting out some of the content, some of the information, I guess, that I do, is to help others make your journey a little bit easier. That's my husband that just walked by. And make your journey a little bit easier. That's scary. And so tonight I figured at the beginning of the year is a great time to talk about goals, setting them, and then, because I truly believe that if you set goals but you don't put action plans or action steps to them, and then of course take that action, but a goal without an action plan is really just a dream or a wish, and it's not going to happen unless you have those things that you need to do and then take the action to do it. And that's how you get what you want or get to where you want to be. So I'm going to just give you a couple of things going on with the team, and then we will get right into this. And then hopefully you can take some, and I'm going to show you some of my goals as well. And so hopefully you can take some of these things and use them. And I would love if you go back and set up some goals for yourself. I would love to hear back from you. Either you can comment below this video or just on the Hustle to Muscle Fitness page, or you can send me a message either here on my like page or at Tanya Moravec, and I would love to hear back from you on the process of how this went for you, what kind of goals maybe that you set, and even if I can help you support you in any of those goals. So just a couple of things real quick though. I have not. A couple of things real quick for the team. If any of this interests you, the Clean and Lean Challenge just got started, so people working on their health and fitness goals, which is great. If you would like to get involved, maybe start, can you hear my, I'm going to show you this because you're probably wondering what all this sound is. Dogs are being fed. It is dinner time at the house. That's okay. One of the things that I like about Facebook video is how real you can be. And this ain't a professional production by any means. So, but anyway, so if you want to find another way to get started on being more active, maybe some of your fitness goals, starting next week there will be a 7-day squat challenge, and you'll get lots of free recipes, tips, tools, just have a lot of fun. I'll probably even throw in some free prize giveaways during that week. So they're under the events of this like page. Go check it out. You can actually find the link to request to join the group. Following that will be a 5-day clean eating group. Both of those are free to join. You get free recipes, free meal plans, have a good time, and really kickstart off some healthier habits. So that's what's kind of coming up. All right. What else I think that's pretty much it for fitness stuff. I will do event pages and announcements as things come up, so stay tuned. All right, let's get into goals. So a lot of people this time of year will say, I want to save more money, or I want to lose weight. That's a very popular one. I want to go to the gym more, or whatever. Now, while the intention is very good, that's just kind of like, it's so vague in general. You know, there's nothing definite or specific about it to really help you measure your progress. And when we make progress is how we stay motivated towards those goals. So, for instance, when I set out to start losing weight, I was about 200 pounds, and I figured, I think 150 is a good target to shoot for. So I was like, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. Now, I didn't have a timeline, and that's probably where one of my mistakes came in. But I wanted to, I set myself up, okay, so 50 was the long-term goal, so then I had incremental steps along the way. All right, I'm going to shoot for 10 pounds first. And I chose to use things like Yoga Booty Ballet, P90X, so that was my tool to help me get there. And it took me several years to really get to that goal. And I think, like I said, I didn't put a little bit more detail around it, timelines and things like that. So first thing that you need to do is you need to set SMART goals. What is SMART? Now, you may be familiar with this, but for those of you who are not, hopefully this isn't backwards to you. I just thought about that. But if it is, okay, so SMART is specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, depending on where if you look it up, relevant or realistic, and timely or time sensitive. So what does that mean? Okay, I want to lose weight. Well, okay, so how much weight do you want to lose? By when? Is it realistic in your time frame, or is it relevant to what you're trying to achieve? Those sorts of things. So rather than just saying I want to lose weight, you would say, I want to lose, so my goal changed. I want to lose 75 pounds, and I want to do that, let's say, within 18 months. So January, so we're looking at June of 2018. So by June of 2018, I want to lose 75 pounds. So I have specific how much I want to weigh, and that's my measurement, 150 pounds. Is it attainable? Yes, I've given myself maybe even too much time, but I've given myself plenty of time to do it in a healthy way. Is it relevant? Yes, because weight loss, improvement of health is what I'm going for, and time sensitive. So I've given myself a deadline. Now, what happens is as you're going through whatever the journey is towards that goal, you'll find that things might change. You might be making progress faster than expected, or it might be slower, or something interrupts you for whatever reason. And so then you have to adjust. And I want you to keep that in mind, that even though you might have a goal, very specific goal in mind, I've heard the quote, and I think it's from Jeff Hill from Beachbody. He says, plan with precision, but execute with flexibility. So that means you've got this plan in place, but be flexible about it. If stuff happens, or if you're doing better than you projected, that's okay. Be willing to adjust. Be willing to be flexible. So make sure that all of your goals are SMART goals, because that's, first of all, you need to put some detail behind it, so you're not just kind of like vaguely wishing to lose weight or vaguely wishing to save some more money. That's another thing. So let's say, take finances. That's also a very popular goal this time of year, or New Year's resolutions, which, let me side note here, I don't really do the New Year's resolutions thing. I don't really like them because they have such a temporary mindset to them, and so many people fizz out and kind of quit on their New Year's resolutions. So quite honestly, I think they suck. I set goals because I'm after things that are lifelong changes. So like in my case with weight loss, it wasn't a New Year's resolution. It was a goal to lose weight and get healthier, and it's become a way of living for me. Same thing with finances. I was tired of being in so much debt without having a plan, and feeling completely overwhelmed, and not having any savings, and emergency after emergency came up and had no way to deal with it except for go into a deeper hole. And I was tired of that. So had to change that. I didn't create a plan necessarily, but I found one that I thought would work, and I followed it, which of course, as you probably know if you've been watching a while, is the Dave Ramsey plan. But so those are some examples of how I've implemented this type of goal setting into my life. But I'm always trying to tweak and improve the process. Every year or every time I set goals, I learn new tricks and ways that I can tweak it to better fit the things that I'm after, or the way that my mind works. So you might find that too. But as a general structure, SMART goals. So now I'm going to show you some of mine, and I'm going to be honest, some of these are pretty personal, but I've been a pretty open book with you in this show, so this may not be a huge surprise. So now, don't be overwhelmed by how many goals are on here. For me, I went and divided up and did some goal setting in different areas of my life. And all of it really will better my life as a whole, but I had to break it down. So these might be scenarios that you'll want to consider, and you might even have other ones that you would like to add on to. So I have, see if you can see that. So I have goals for my business. That's my Hustle to Muscle fitness business. That kind of rhymes. I've got finance goals. So for instance, last year one of our goals was to pay off, can you see me? One of our goals was to pay off 9 debts or $5,000 or more in debts, and actually achieved both. We hit the 9 debt mark, and then we also blew that $5,000 out of the water. We ended up actually, I think it was like 11,000 we paid off or got rid of somehow last year. So that's the reason why the specifics are very important. And then I also track, much to Gary's chagrin, I track our finances and I watch those things like a hawk. Maybe he would say obsessively, but hey, we're making progress, so can't be that bad. But anyway, so business, finances, personal. So for me specifically, one of the things that I am really wanting to do this year is to make sure I follow my fitness plans to 100%. So really working hard to not skip workouts, and to finish them start to finish, which I'm pretty good at, but I really want to make that effort. Reducing the intake of sugars and processed foods. So that's going to be, the processed foods, not so hard. Sugar, I ain't gonna lie, that one's a tough one. But after the holidays, I just realized, like, man, I just really need to not be on so much sugar. And then another one for me is to also schedule weekly downtime. Like, I'll be the first to admit that I am workaholic. I work a full-time job, as many of you know, and then I also am running this business, and so it's very easy for me to just hop from that job to working on this, especially this, because I enjoy this so much, and I'm really wanting it to take off and grow, so it's easy for me to spend so much time on this. So, and then also the last section here, relationships. And so that is, well, really in particular, my relationship with Gary. So I have set some goals that require action on my part, and some that require action on both of our parts. So, and this is where it gets a little bit personal, but now it's not probably a huge secret that Gary and I struggled a little bit in our relationship last year. A big part of that was finances, but another part of that was also me working so much, which is why they're both on my goal board this year. And if you've been watching this show for a while, you also know that Gary suffers from chronic pain and is permanently disabled. So that takes a toll on a relationship in a different way. So some of my goals, honestly, are around things like, making sure that I am paying more attention to him, making sure that I'm doing things like paying him more compliments, and really acknowledging his contributions to the house. Because I know them, but I don't verbalize them enough. So those are goals for me. Even goals like, I'll be honest, setting up sex dates. And you're gonna be like, oh my God. But one, I don't really have a problem talking about sex. And two, yes, married people have sex. So, shocker. And the reason why I do that is because we don't have kids. So you think, well, yeah, you guys can have sex whenever you want. Well, sure. But one, if you're married with kids, you know how hard it is to fit it into a schedule anyway. Both working, or maybe you're both working, or if one's working and one's not, one's taking care of the house, running around with kids and all that kind of, by the end of the day, you're exhausted. So sometimes it just doesn't feel like there's any gas left in the tank for each other. And I'll be honest, and people are going to disagree with me, but your relationship together is even more important than some of the things going on with your kids. Like, your marriage is more important than making sure that your kid is in every single sport. I mean, it's great for them to become well-rounded people and to be involved, but if you as a unit are not together, you are showing them what the definition of a quality marriage looks like. And that's either going to be a good example or a poor one. So just keep that in mind. Now, Gary and I don't have kids. That's not what gets in our way. I do work a lot. I travel a lot. Sometimes that gets in the way. But with somebody who suffers from chronic pain, it's very easy, for me to just say, well, I'm not even going to ask or initiate because he probably doesn't feel very good. And there are times where he feels all right. I mean, he's never totally pain-free, but he knows himself well enough to know when basically he can do it and when he can't. So that's why I said, we need to be more intentional about actually setting some times to be intimate with each other. So you might laugh, but I would suggest putting things like that in as a goal, or in your calendar even. You're like, wow, really? Scheduling sex? Well, you know what? I'd rather have scheduled sex than not have it at all. So anyway, that was kind of a rabbit trail, but you get my point. So relationship, business, finances, personal, you might even add career. I didn't because of just where I'm at in my career currently. I'm pretty content, and so I'm not necessarily trying to, this is going to sound weird, but I'm not necessarily trying to move up. My job, actually, that I'm in right now was a promotion. I've only been in it 2 years. So for me, I'm just trying to make sure that I know all that I can know about my job before I start moving on, moving up, elsewhere, whatever. So while I'm pretty good there and I'm doing well, I'm focusing a lot on my business and excelling that. So you might want to add career, though, if you're not happy or if you're time to move up, education. So there are lots of different areas that you could look at and you could add to goal setting. So just remember that when you do, they've got to be SMART goals. So one of my goals for my business is to earn $4,000 a month by the end of this year. So does that mean next month I'm going to try and shoot for $4,000 a month? No. But by the end of December, I want to have been able to say that I've earned $4,000 a month. That may mean, and I'm hoping not, but that may mean that December becomes the only month that I earn $4,000 a month. But even still, if that's the case, that means somewhere between January and November, I've earned $1,000 a month. I've earned $2,000 a month. Maybe I've earned $3,000 a month. So that upward growth is what I'm after. And if I hit 4 by the end of the year, great. If I hit it before, awesome. I need to reset this and maybe shoot for 5 or 6. Who knows? So that one is specific, it's measurable, it's time sensitive, it's realistic. And the other thing that I would recommend, and this is the thing that I need to step back and do now, this is kind of the next layer, the next step. Once you have these done, need to go back and sort of either reverse engineer or action plan, like what is it going to take for me to get to $4,000 a month by December? What does that mean I need to do in terms of earning now, earning next year, or I mean not next year, earning next month, in 6 months, etc. So with my weight loss, with the example I gave you earlier, if the example was I want to lose 75 pounds in 18 months, okay, well what do I need to do? On average, over 18 months, I need to lose X number of pounds. Okay, now I'm going to know my body pretty well. Is it easier or is it more challenging for me to lose weight? For me personally, it was more challenging. So, but now looking back on it, I also know I gave myself way too many treat meals and I probably could have sped the process up. But, so that means I need to lose X number of pounds at least per month. I need to make sure I'm doing things like getting my workouts in a minimum of, let's say, 5 times a week or 3 times a week or whatever. If it's harder for me to lose weight, then I need to make sure that it's probably more 5 to 7 times a week, one of those being a rest day. I need to make sure that I am planning and prepping my meals. And treat meals are okay on occasion, but I also need to plan for those. So if I know that in 2 weeks there's a birthday party, okay, then I know that I'm going to be really good up until then, and then I will plan for that particular event. So up to the event, I will eat well, make sure I work out, have my treat at that thing, and then get right back to it. Things like that. So that's what I mean. When you take your SMART goal, reverse engineer it, figure out what it's going to take for you to get there, and maybe you break it down into smaller steps. So 18 months is a long ways away. So maybe I want to say in 3 months I would like to have lost X number of pounds. Maybe it's 15. I don't know. But hopefully that makes sense. And like I said, take the different various areas of your life. I was just on a webinar and he talked about, Let me find the exact line so I don't screw it up. Okay, so what part of your life is just lingering there? And maybe it's just been in that stagnant whatever type of place for a long time. Maybe that's the area that you're the most fed up with. So that's the area maybe you need to start with in goal setting, action planning, reverse engineering, and make it a SMART goal. SMART. Okay? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. That's what you need to do. Find that area of your life that you maybe are the most dissatisfied with and do something about it. So that's pretty much how I goal set, and I do it in those different sections. And then if you do it in a way that is specific and measurable, then you can track it. Because again, if you just say something like, I want to lose weight, okay, well, what if you diet for a week, you've lost 3 or 5 pounds? Well, guess what? You've lost weight. Does that mean now you go back to the way you were? No, but no one knows that and maybe you don't even know that because you didn't say it. I want to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, and then you reset to whatever the next goal is. Okay, after that, if that's your goal, like that's all you need to lose, then you would say, okay, now I want to work on improving maybe you're doing a DVD program like I do. Maybe you want to work on now improving the moves, improving your technique, your form, those kinds of things. So I hope that was helpful. I didn't want to do a very long video. Let's see what we're at, 10 minutes maybe? Oh, 21 minutes. Okay, well, I guess I talked longer than I thought. So anyway, I hope that will help you set goals, goals that you feel like you can actually wrap your head around and your heart around, and things that will help accelerate and excel your life, and you propel you towards these things that you want to achieve. So again, if you do this and you've set goals, I would love for you to share those with me, or even just give me some feedback about or questions that you had about the process. Did it go well? What was unclear? That sort of stuff. Again, you can post here on this page. You can send me a message on this like page. You can also send me a message on my personal page. So hope to hear from you guys. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. You're awesome. And whether you watch this live or you watch it later on, I still appreciate your time. And I hope that goal setting is something that will, and this particular video will help you achieve some great things in 2017, whether it's in the next month, the next 3, 6 months, or 12, or beyond. So, all right, guys, you're awesome. Have a great night. If you live in the Yakima Valley or anywhere near this area, it is snowing like crazy, so stay safe out there on the roads, and we will talk to you guys soon. Have a happy, healthy day. Bye.